Hello crafty friends, I'm Lien from Studio Kato and I'm so happy to be back on the Syberia Designs YouTube channel today with a fun little critter card. You guys know that I definitely prefer floral cards. I find them a lot easier to make, but these Cheerful Pandas from the Cheerful Panda Moments stamp set are just too cute to resist. I made 2 cards with them. You'll see both of them at the end. And I already have a video for the second card I made. And that is up on my own YouTube channel. I'll link it below in the description if I remember. But this one is just such a fun one. And you can easily turn this one into a shaker as well if you like that. I just didn't think of it at the time. But once it was finished, I thought, oh, I wish I had added some confetti to this. I started out by stamping all of these pandas and a bunch of their accessories with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Any alcohol marker friendly ink will do. I colored all of these in with my Ohuhu markers, and all of the images that I don't use on today's card I have used on the slimline card I also made with these pandas. So I'm coloring these in with my Ohuhu markers. I love the Ohuhu markers. They are very, very vibrant colors. They blend beautifully. I just really like them. And they come at a great price point as well. This balloon was so fun to color because it's a really nice, bright pop of color against those pandas, because pandas are super easy stamps because you don't have to add a bunch of coloring to them. Honestly, you don't even have to color them at all, but I do like to add a little bit of light shading on the white areas at least. Once I am done with all the coloring, I can put this back in my MISTI. I have left the stamps in place, and then I can stamp these again with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. This is a pigment ink, so it dries pretty slowly. It's also not compatible with alcohol markers. That's why I use it second. I use it after I've done my coloring. And this is also great for embossing. I love an embossed outline. I know this is not everyone's cup of tea, but if you do like embossing as much as I do, you might want to add some clear embossing to your alcohol marker images. And this is pretty much the only way to do that, since embossing powder and alcohol markers don't mix well together. Coloring over an embossed outline with an alcohol marker is not great for your marker, so you want to avoid that if you can. I'm going to heat set that, and then I'm going to use the coordinating die set to cut all of these out. In the meantime, I have die cut some of the nested scalloped frames die set. This is just a white panel, just a rectangle panel, but I also cut a frame as well, which will come into play later. I'm going to mask off the bottom and the edges. You can see there's a dotted outline all the way around this rectangle die cut, which I love because it's just a really easy way to frame a panel. I love when there are stitched details or dotted details all the way around. Now I masked those off to make sure that stays white and again creates more of a frame around my ink blended area. And I'm also going to keep those masks in place after I've done my ink blending to add a little bit of white splatter. I don't often go for white splatter, I usually go for black, but for some reason I took out my white acrylic paint instead, and I am going to thin that down with a little bit of water so it splatters nicely, and I'm just going to pick that up with a paintbrush and splatter it on. You can definitely do this a little bit less messy than I did, but I honestly like getting a little bit messy in my craft room. This is the Dazzling Fireworks cover die from Syberia Designs. I really love subtle cover dies like that because they make for a super easy background. Now, you're not going to see a whole lot of this background in my final card, but I still think it adds a nice touch to the white areas of this card. As you can see, I cut that scalloped frames from the nested scalloped frames die set twice, once from white cardstock and once from silver cardstock. I actually probably cut it a couple of more times from that white cardstock. And I layered that up on a piece of cardboard. And then I inlaid that rectangle as well that I ink blended on. And this just creates a really fun popped up scene. That cardboard is great to add dimension. It is super sturdy. It's a lot more sturdy than foam tape. But it's also a lot lighter than adding a bunch of cardstock to the back of your panel. I know a lot of people do that. I tend to avoid it because it definitely weighs my card down a lot. I even added a second die cut to all of my images because I really love a sturdy looking image, like it's done on really thick cardstock. So I just layered up my cardstock here, and it's not really for dimension because there's already a ton of dimension to this card with the frame and everything being propped up on cardboard. I'm also going to add foam tape to that balloon. So I usually use foam tape for dimension. I just really think it looks a little better when a die cut has 2 layers to it and is thicker. So when everything is adhered down, I added a little sentiment strip from the Celebration Sentiments hot foil plate. This is one of those hot foil plates that foils a ton of sentiments all at once, and then you use one coordinating die to cut them all out. There is also a stamp set, or one large stamp, that works with that die as well. However, the sentiments are slightly different. So if you buy both of them, I will link both of them below, you get more sentiments. So you don't get all the same sentiments in the hot foil plate and the stamp set. That's a finished card, and the second card I made with these pandas. I love them both. I really love those candles in the second one. That is the Flickering Candlelight stencil. It's a slimline stencil, so it's actually made to go all the way over a slimline card horizontally, but I just split it up to make a vertical card instead. I really love these pandas. I hope you like them too, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel to see more inspiration for the Syberia Designs products. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!